Well, hey model bus fans, I'm Jeff Silver, the bus boss from Iconic Replicas. I get a lot of questions in here and there, and one of the most frequent ones I get is, hey, why buses? How did you start the company? Why did you start the company? So I figured now that we're close to 5,000 members on this Facebook group that I would talk to you guys a little bit more about how it came to be and what continues to fuel my passion for bringing model buses to the collector market. I guess we have to turn back the hands of time to the 1930s. My great uncle, Bob, Robert, who was a recent immigrant from the Ukraine, ended up being hired by Greyhound to drive a bus between Montreal and New York City through the Adirondack Mountains. And you know, back then there was no superhighway, there was no Interstate 89. It was essentially a two-lane road winding its way through the mountains, ups and downs and snowstorms. And you know, it was stories like that that captivated me as a young kid. In addition to the buses he drove, the people he met, the ups and downs of being a bus driver. But at the end of the day, he ended up working his way up in the company, and when he retired after 40 years, he was one of the vice presidents of Greyhound in Eastern Canada. So quite an illustrious career. But during that time, with his pictures and his stories, you know, he created the very beginning of a passion in me, and ever since then, I've been a bus lover. You know, a few years later, when I was in college, I ended up behind the wheel of an MC9 driving a tour bus between Calgary, Alberta and Vancouver, British Columbia through the Canadian Rockies. And that in itself was a great experience. 2 summers, but literally thousands of passengers and thousands of miles. But you know, at the end of the day, I ended up moving on to other things, but never lost my love for buses. And I'm sure many of you have that same love. You know, you'll see a brand new Prevost H345, well, you know, going down the road, and you'll be like, whoa, check that out. Or the new Excelsior electric bus. I mean, maybe that doesn't excite you, but some of you it does, and whoa, look at that. I mean, you notice these buses, whereas many people, it's just another object moving by. But you know, we are bus lovers, and I guess that kind of helped me fuel my passion to moving my company to a different level. I had originally started Awesome Diecast in 2002, just as a distributor of model cars and buses. And you know, I was doing the same thing everybody else was. I had DCP, I had First Gear, I had this, I had that. We all had the same thing. How could I do things differently? And one day I'm sitting in my office and I'm looking, and I happen to gaze at this dinky 949. It's a Wayne school bus, and it is probably the oldest piece in my collection. It's a bus that I got when I was 9 years old, and to this day it's still in great condition. But I thought to myself, you know, nobody's making great buses anymore. Corgi did it for a while, but then they stopped. And it occurred to me that a lot of buses that should have been made were never made, and I was going to do something about it. So coincidentally, at the same time, this was back in 2015, I got a phone call from a friend of mine who worked for Greyhound, and he asked me if I knew of a company that could make a model of the Mack BK they had in their 100th anniversary fleet. And seeing as they were celebrating their 100th anniversary, I was like, well, I could probably get that done. You know, I'm thinking to myself, made a few phone calls, flew out to Los Angeles, took hundreds of pictures and measurements because, you know, when this bus was made, there was no computer files. Everything was done with a blueprint and drawings and whatnot, and we had to do the same thing in order to create the CAD files that they use in today's modern factories to make die-cast models. But lo and behold, we made the model, we made 1,008 of them, and they were sold out in a little less than a month. And to this day, we've never reproduced that bus. It remains one of the most limited edition pieces we ever did in 150 scale. And it's still pretty much the most proud I've ever been of releasing a bus, because it was something that kind of turned dreams into reality. I had wanted to make model buses, wanted to find a way to do it, and this was the beginning of Iconic Replicas. Fast forward over the years, and we have been pretty much the manufacturer of choice for just about every major bus company in North America, as well as some outside of North America, like Turkey and France and several other countries. But that being said, you know, buses has been something that I've been excited about to this day, and I'm hoping that the models that I bring to you guys continue to fuel the passion. It certainly does for me, and I'm hoping it does for you. So for now anyways, if you've started your collection and you're looking to expand it, we have a great deal going on. It is the buy 3 get 3. So essentially from almost 80 different buses, you have the opportunity to buy any 3 buses at regular price and then get 3 buses for free. So all you got to do is buy 3, order 6, and 50% of your invoice is discounted. With that being said, we have a lot of new models in the works, some of which we'll be releasing in the first quarter of 2024. All updates are posted to the Model Bus fan club base, so you guys know what's going on and what to expect. We do have the Orion, which I think a lot of people are excited about. That will be coming out soon. We started working on the MC5. We've got a Prevost H345, the new 2023 model, which we'll be releasing soon in 187 scale and 164 scale, as well as a couple other things that I don't want to just release just yet, but I'm sure will get you pretty excited when you get your updates. So until then, don't miss the bus. Stay tuned to Model Bus Fan Club, and thank you so much for your support. You guys are what makes what I do worth it, right to the very last nut, very last wheel, very last window, very last bus. It's all about you guys. So together, let's keep this passion going and take this hobby to new heights. Till then, take care.